Good morning, everybody. It is time for Meals with Melissa, where I bring you super simple, easy things to eat that are healthy and absolutely not complicated because, of course, I don't do complicated. So this morning, I actually had a request for protein ice cream. Now, there are a ton of recipes on Pinterest and wow, like it can be a little bit overwhelming. So honestly, what I did was I looked through and I picked the easiest one that I could find. Now, honestly, I tried a couple of different recipes and maybe you'll have to sift through a little bit and find something that works for you. But this one's super, super simple and you can change the flavors pretty easily. I am gonna warn you that it does contain fruit. So, you know, a little bit of fruit's okay, guys. Fruit is nature's candy. It's natural sugars. Now, of course, I wouldn't go overboard with it, but you know, if you're really working to stay maybe keto, which again, I'm not a huge fan of because I feel like you're really missing out on some major nutrients. Good morning, Sierra. You know, so again, you'll have to work with your macros, which is super important. You know, if you're not tracking, then you probably should because everybody's a little bit different depending on their goals and what they're trying to accomplish. Because remember, it's not really about the calories, it's about how your body responds to the calories. So the quality of the calories, the quality of the foods, whether it's processed or whether it's, you know, whole food like God intended us to eat. So we're actually gonna make strawberry protein ice cream. Super simple, doesn't take very long. I'm gonna use my handy dandy food processor. Now I'm very aware that I need a bigger food processor, but I've had such really bad luck finding a good food processor. I've had to return multiples. So if you have a brand that works for you, let me know. I am on the hunt. Maybe I'll ask for Christmas. Maybe Santa will bring me something great. So what I'm gonna use is I'm gonna use about 1.5 cups of frozen strawberries. Now it's important that they're frozen because honestly, I'm not gonna use an ice cream maker. What happens at my house is we usually buy one and then we never use it, so we get rid of it. And then of course, then I come up with reasons like today to possibly use one. So this actually negates the need for that. Now, if you're gonna do a different flavor, you are welcome to try it. Mostly the recipes call for frozen banana for those. So again, that's gonna be really high in natural sugar. Unfortunately, not a ton of fiber. The fiber in the fruit, such as berries, slows down the absorption of the sugars into your bloodstream. So, you know, berries are a really great way to go. Now I'm just gonna use strawberries, but you could do any sort of berries. I know Costco carries a mixed berry option, which would be a great one as well. Now, my food processor, unfortunately, is fairly small. So I'm gonna overtax it just a little bit when I do this. So hopefully I don't blow it up. But I'm gonna use about 1.5 cups of strawberries. Any berries that you want work great. And then I'm gonna use a scoop of vanilla protein just to make sure I'm not gonna, now if you wanted like chocolate and strawberry, I guess that's your prerogative. But I tend to like vanilla because it goes with everything. Now this is the best brand I've ever found. For those of you that know what I use, I do carry it because it's clean, it tastes amazing. Because I've had some brands of protein, of whey protein that don't taste so fabulous. So this is very low sugar, very, just, yeah, it works out great. So I'm gonna use 1 full scoop of vanilla protein. Of course, you can try other brands. I'm not gonna lie, I've tried some other stuff that, yeah, doesn't work for protein pancakes, doesn't work for anything. But I'm gonna add a scoop of my vanilla protein. Like I said, it'd be so much nicer if I had a bigger food processor. Hint, hint to some company that wants to, you know, give me one. Okay, now I'm also gonna add 1/4 cup of unsweetened almond milk. Now, I'll probably use a little bit more than that because the consistency really is key here. But I'm gonna start with 1/4 cup and then work my way through. Now, I also discovered that Swerve, which is a sugar substitute that is not sucralose. Now, for those of you that watch any of my Q&A Wednesdays, you know that I'm not a huge fan of sucralose. Used in very small amounts, it's fine. But unfortunately, there's a lot of products that now have switched to sucralose, which, guys, is Splenda. But because it is a sugar derivative, it actually has been shown that it does raise blood sugar. So you're better off with a sugar alcohol, which, of course, you have to be careful with that because that can cause digestive distress in large quantities. I've had experience with that. But I do like Swerve, which I believe is erythritol. And it works out fine in small quantities. So you're gonna use this to taste. This is actually a confectioner's style, which is like powdered sugar. So it's a little different consistency than the granulated, but I find that it works better for this. And I'm not gonna use a lot. You know, the strawberries are naturally sweet, so I don't need to sweeten it a whole lot. And if you're using banana, you might not need to add any sugar substitute at all. So just keep that in mind. There really is more about taste. Now, for those of you that I can already hear are going, but it doesn't taste like regular ice cream. Get over it because you know what? Sugar is addictive and it also ages your body faster. So it's really difficult. Sugar's an addictive substance, guys, not gonna lie. I've done enough research to know this. I am the weirdo that listens to lectures when she works out. So, you know, that's just the nerd in me. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the food processor. I can't even talk this morning, must be Saturday. Put it in the food processor, get my lid on there. Sometimes it doesn't like me. Now it's gonna take a second because it's really, like I said, the strawberries are frozen. And so it takes a minute for it to really kind of get to break it down a little bit. And I am gonna have to add a little bit more almond milk. So keep that in mind. I'm also gonna use a rubber scraper to kind of help it out just a little bit because it's going to be a little bit ornery. Okay, what happens is, you know, the stuff that does break down is in the bottom, and then of course the bigger pieces kind of roll to the top, and the blades are down at the bottom. So I'm gonna mess with that just a little bit. I'm gonna add some more almond milk. Unsweetened almond milk has become a pretty big staple at my house. We don't really purchase a whole lot of milk anymore, honestly just because I can't even do milk. My body is extremely lactose intolerant, you know, so there's no benefit at that point. Although I do love every once in a while, guys, I eat clean enough that what I usually do is eat clean, and then once in a while I eat the real thing. I honestly prefer it that way. You know, I do things like this because I know a lot of us, I have a sweet tooth, right? So I also have a really good recipe that I just tried last night for low carb pumpkin bread. So those of you that know me know I love pumpkin, everything pumpkin spice, except pumpkin pie. Don't love pumpkin pie. I don't know why. Texture. All right, so I'm gonna keep working at this. It's gonna take, like I said, it's gonna take a few minutes, and a couple of times I'm messing around with it with my rubber scraper because the bottom part's turning out exactly where I want it to be, but the top part really is kind of gonna give me a little bit of trouble. Now, if you like strawberry, that's great. Raspberry, like I said, you know, and here's the deal. You know, I saw on there that they did a lot of like vanilla or chocolate and then add some sauces like Walden Farms. Personally, not a huge fan of Walden Farms. Don't like the flavor. It's a lot of chemicals. It's a lot of, it does contain sucralose. Like I said, in minimal quantities, that's fine. But I just, no. I'd rather stick with some of the more natural options. Yeah, I just would. Okay, so one more go at this. Okay, we're finally getting there. It's actually blending really, really well. It's almost like making your own little milkshake, right? I'm all about it. And I do love ice cream. I really do. When I think about ice cream, I kind of have to take into consideration how I'm going to feel for the next 24 to 48 hours, which is usually miserable. And I have to decide whether it's worth it. Now, once in a while it is, and I'll eat it. And then for about 24 hours, I feel miserable and gross. So, you know, this is just a better option because I don't have the same issues with almond milk that I do with regular milk in ice cream and milkshakes. So there's still, it looks like there's a couple of chunks in there, but I just want to show you the consistency of it. And then also the batch that I made last night, I froze in the freezer. Actually, it looks pretty darn good. Okay, so if you can see this, I'm gonna unscrew that really quick. You can see it's like, it's a perfect consistency. Like it just looks like ice cream. It's nice. Yep, look at that. It's just like ice cream. Tastes really good too. So I put about not quite a tablespoon of the Swerve confectioner sugar in there just to sweeten it up just a little bit because the strawberries are really tart, and honestly it's perfect. So after I froze it, it's gonna be a little bit more solid. Before you actually want to scoop it out, you're probably gonna have to let it sit out for just a little bit, and then, you know, I actually bought a small scoop, like a cookie scoop, just so that I don't give myself such big portions of it, because honestly everything in moderation is okay. You know, you want balance in your life, but it works out great, and it's a healthier alternative to Halo Top. Now, don't get me wrong, Halo Top is a little bit better option than full-on ice cream. The problem I have with Halo Top is A, it still contains sugar, B, it's still a processed food, and when you open the top, the little foil seal on there says, don't bother getting a bowl, you're going to eat the whole thing. I have a problem with that because when we're trying to promote a healthier option, to kind of tell you to be unhealthy with the product is a gimmick that I don't like. So, you know, once in a while, Halo Top is fine, but it's really expensive. This is a much healthier version. You can make it all on your own, and During the summer, you could probably freeze some regular strawberries because again, you need them to be frozen in order for the consistency to be correct. But you know what? I love summer fruit. It tastes amazing, and that's what it's for. It's to eat during the summer. So there you go. Now, really quick, if you want to try a different flavor, you can get a different flavor of protein powder. Again, you can try some other recipes for it, but with this particular recipe, you need something frozen because again, I'm not using an ice cream maker. So you're probably going to end up using banana. It has a little calmer flavor. It doesn't show through some of the flavors, like if you wanted to make a coffee or a mocha, or something to that extent, or even a peanut butter. I carry a peanut butter cookie flavor of protein that is the bomb. That would be a really great option as well. So try those. Let me know what you think. And you guys, this was a request from somebody online that just said, hey, can you show us how to make a great protein ice cream? And I went, ooh, let me check it out. So have an incredible weekend, you guys. And now the next couple of weeks, there will not be a Meals with Melissa. No, let's see, just October 27th, November 3rd, and November 10th. I will be coaching at multiple shows all over the Pacific Northwest and won't be available to do this, but we'll return to our normal time and schedule in November, right around Thanksgiving. So have a great, incredible weekend, you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.